The Knicks have to treat game 3 like they're down 0-2. That's the fact. They have to treat this game, and I don't think it's a must-win for the Knicks. All these people and all these idiots on TV, and I don't want to call them idiots, but all these people just trying to get a hot take out there saying this is a must-win game for the Knicks, this game 3, just not accurate. Because if they lose game 3 and they win game 4, they're fine. They need to win one of these next 2 games. That's the fact. So it doesn't matter which one it is. And arguably, you could say if they win game 3, then game 4 you could look at as a must-win because you don't want to let the Celtics get the win on the road, then come back home, get another one, and then all of a sudden it's a must-win in game 6. So you could look at it a million different ways. When you're the worst team, when you're the team that is the underdog, every game is important. Every single game is important, is of the utmost importance. Because you got to steal every game you can. Because that makes it harder for the team that's the better or the favorite, like the Celtics, to come back. Because you know the Celtics are going to have a good shooting night in them coming up. You know the Celtics are going to play their A game at some point. The more wins you click off, the more they're going to have to climb up that hill. The more the Celtics are going to have to climb up that hill. So every game is important, especially for the Knicks, because, to be honest, they've been outplayed for 2 games, and they've come back in dramatic, historic fashion and won both games. But you would not look at those games objectively, even a kind of delusional Knicks fan would look at those 2 games and wouldn't say, wow, we really outplayed them those games. No one would say that. You could like the resolve, you could like the resiliency, you could like the toughness, the grit, whatever you want to say. But you would not say, wow, we really outplayed the Celtics for 2 games. That's just not reality. The Knicks are going to have to play a whole lot better going forward if they want to get these next 2 wins, which are going to be the hardest 2 wins of their entire season. And the Celtics have no issue going on the road. We know that. They're a good road team. They have no issue with that. So, now Madison Square Garden is not, the Miami Heat road games. It's not. It's not the Magic. It's the Garden. It's New York. It's a different kind of crowd. Boston should know. They have a similar crowd. So, they know that ain't going to be easy. That's not a regular road game you just chalk up. But the Knicks know Boston has no issue playing on the road. They've been better on the road at times. And so have the Knicks, by the way. But this is not one of those games where you say, okay, this is a must-win for the Knicks. They have to win game 3. No, they don't. They have to win game 3 or game 4. Whichever one. They have to win one of the 2. You're up 3-1 going back to Boston. That's a position you want to be in. Obviously, if you get the sweep, great. But that's a lot to ask, considering how the 2 teams have played the first 2 games. And if I'm the Knicks, though, like I started out saying, to me, you got to go into this game. You got to go into this game. You got to go into this game with an urgency that you are down 2-0, not up 2-0. You got to feel like you're down 2-0 because that's what it's going to take to beat this Celtics team 4 games. They've beaten themselves, 2 of them. Now you just got to beat them 2. And if you're the Knicks, you gain a little confidence from those 2 games. You know you can beat them now. Hadn't beat them all year, right? So before you're like, can we really beat these guys, though? We've been kind of dump trucked for a couple of those games. Like, can we beat them? Now you know you can beat them. Now you know you can beat them. And no matter what you're down in the game, you could always come back and beat them. But you don't want to spot yourself 20-point leads every game because that ain't going to happen every game. It ain't going to happen. It's not realistic. So, if you're the Knicks, you got to come out in this game 3 like you're down 2-0 and play with that sense of urgency because every single game that you could click off of this series makes it all the more difficult for the Celtics to try to claw their way back. Because you know they're going to play better than they did the first 2 games. Or they're going to shoot better at least. And the Knicks offense has not been impressive so far. Let's just call it like it is. The Knicks offense has been putrid, especially in game 2. That's going to have to get a whole lot better. Brunson is going to have to get a whole lot better. And the Knicks are going to have to find creative ways to get Drew Holiday off of him, because Holiday is a tough matchup for anybody, but especially for Jalen, because he is a similar size and stature to Jalen. He's strong, and he's a patient defender. He doesn't fall for any of the up fakes and fake moves, and he's not going to reach. He's not going to do any of that lazy stuff that maybe young defenders who are really talented do. He's a veteran. He's one of the best defenders we've seen in this generation. And he is the perfect guy to guard Jalen. So the Knicks are going to have to find creative ways to get him off of him and to get Jalen scoring opportunities, because the Knicks are going to need a lot more than 17 points on 6 of 9 shooting from Jalen Brunson. And in the first game, what was he? In the first game, he had 29 points, but he was what? 9 of 23, something like that. Something crazy. 9 of 23 maybe. Inefficient. We know Jalen Brunson's a lot better than that, but this is a tough matchup for him. It's a tough matchup. The Celtics do a couple things on defense that don't allow him to get a whole lot of space. Right? They put Drew Holiday on him, number 1. Very difficult to deal with. And they take Towns completely out of the game from a perimeter standpoint. So the spacing, Jalen doesn't have that option to let me get it to Karl for a 3. Let me get it to Cat in space. They've relegated Towns to a post-up player because they put the wing player on him. And what that does is it runs him off the three-point line. And Jalen can't do those pick and pops with Towns as easily as he could before. So, if you're the Knicks, you got to get this offense going. You got to figure something out here to unlock Jalen and get Towns a few looks on the perimeter to at least get some threes off. He's taken 1 3-pointer combined in the first 2 games. Technically, it's 2, but he took a half-court shot at the end of the half. I'm not counting that. He's taken 1 3-pointer in the first 2 games combined. That's not going to get it done. 91 points against the Celtics is not going to get it done. That's a fluky win. You'll take it. You'll get out of town as quickly as you can. But you got to be ready for these next 2 games where the Knicks have not played their best basketball in this postseason at Madison Square Garden. You got to be ready for these next 2 games and treat these 2 games like you're down 2-0. And you come out with a sense of urgency, and you know how important this is to get these games and get at least one of them. But put your best foot forward. Play a good 48-minute game. Show the Celtics you can play with them for 48 minutes. Because I think the Celtics are a bit shaken right now. They're a bit shell-shocked. They're vulnerable. The Knicks just smell blood, like a shark in the water. The Celtics still don't know what hit them in Boston. They're like, shit, we're up 20? Twice? Not once, but twice? We're up 20? Not once, but twice? And we lose both games? Not one game, both games. At home. That's one of the most improbable things you'll ever see. A team that's up 20 points in a playoff game at home late in the second half. We're not talking about first quarter 20 points. Halfway through the second half or later. 20-point leads. They don't go away like that. And maybe you get one game, it's fluky, you have a little playoff variance. It's like, all right, crazy things happen in the one game. It might be 1-1, but it's not going to be 2-0. The Celtics lost both of those games. I mean, that is just wild when you really think about it. It's very hard to analyze this series from if you're just looking at it objectively. Because if I'm looking at it objectively right now, and that's why I said the Knicks need to play with a sense of urgency in this series like they're down 2-0. Because that's what they need to do. They need to play like that. Can't think you're up 2-0 in this series because you're technically not. The Knicks have been outplayed for 2 games. A majority of those 2 games, the Knicks were outplayed. Their offense has not been anything. Aside from a Brunson flurry in the fourth in game one and a Bridges flurry in the fourth in game two, the offense has been a complete no-show. The defense, on the other end, has been very good. Game one, I thought the defense was really good in the second half, not the first half. Game two, I thought it was pretty good throughout the game. Defense stays like this, I think that could be okay. The offense has got to pick up. You're not beating Boston scoring 91 points every game. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be many teams scoring 91 points. So, you look at those two games and you say, shit, like, Boston's going to say, we're down 2-0. We have outplayed them significantly in the two games. We've just thrown the game away in the fourth quarter. And you give the Knicks credit for that coming back, obviously. But Boston has outplayed the Knicks for two games. They've been up 20 in both games, and somehow they're down 2-0. They should be up 2-0. And they're down 2-0. So it's very hard to look at this series and say, you know what, Boston's done. Or the Knicks are in great shape. Because those two things are not necessarily true. Now, obviously, you'd rather be up 2-0 and you'd rather be the Knicks who won two games in Boston. That you're in great position. But the Knicks have to go out there in Game 3 and Game 4, whether they win both or lose one or whatever. They got to win one of them. And show you could play with Boston for 48 minutes. And show you could take them and you could play a basketball game for 48 minutes and have a chance to win without having to pull a Houdini or to pull a David Copperfield out of your hat or whatever you want to call it. That's not winning basketball long term. It's fun for the fans. It's fun in the moment. But the Knicks players know that. They know they can't do that every game. They're not going to come back to it. It's amazing they did it twice. Yeah, it's amazing they did it once, no less twice. They know they can't do that. You heard Towns after the game said, we can't spot them 20-point leads like that. We can't do it. He's right. The Knicks need to come into this Game 3 and play a good basketball game. Start to finish. Not in the fourth quarter. Not for a few minutes here. From the beginning, from the opening tip until the final buzzer. They got to go out there and they got to play a good basketball game, defensively and offensively. Their defense, I don't think there's a lot you need to do there. I know Boston's missed some open shots, but some of that is the Knicks defense. And the Knicks defense has been good. It's been good. The switching has worked. Credit Tom Thibodeau for doing something that he has not proven he's willing to do in the past. He's done it. It's worked. The switching has thrown the Celtics off a bit. And the Knicks bigs have done an adequate job of staying on their men. Kudos. That's working. Keep doing that. But on offense, you have got to find a way. They've got to find a way to unlock Brunson in this series, get him off of Drew Holiday, get him some screens. I personally would do a little more of what they were doing at the end of the Detroit series, getting him off the ball, running him around screens, almost like a Steph Curry kind of game plan. Running him off the ball, let Holiday run around the court. Let him chase him around screens. Get him on the move so we can get him off them. Don't let him just ISO Holiday and then Holiday gets a chance to get in his stance and get everything behind him and get ready and just play defense. Can't do that. And they've got to get Towns some perimeter. They got to get him some threes. Can't take no threes. Can't do it. And he's one of your best three-point shooters. You need to get him on the three-point line. I know the Celtics do a great job of trying to eliminate that, as a lot of other teams do. But that doesn't mean he could just solely, you just oblige, like, all right, we're just going to put him in the post and that's it. Sure, sometimes in the post, he should punish those smaller defenders. Yes. But you've also got to run some stuff where he can get some looks from the perimeter as well. Because that's part of his game. That's what makes him a special offensive player, is the ability to go inside and outside. And right now, the Celtics have completely taken away his outside. Just like they did in the regular season. And the Knicks need the Karl Anthony Towns that's going to score 25 to 30 points and hit some threes if they want to play a full 48-minute game. The Knicks need Jalen Brunson to go 25, 30 points if they want to play a full 48-minute game. And then they need one of Bridges or OG to have a good game. Everything else could stay status quo. You're getting enough from Deuce off the bench. He's done a nice job. You're getting obviously plenty from Mitch off the bench. He's been great. Much better than I even anticipated. So no issues there. The bench has showed up. It showed up. They need to get Jalen and Cat going from the beginning. Get Mikal Bridges. Get him involved from the beginning. Can't just be 0 of 8 and then we have no points going into the fourth quarter. That's nice because it worked out in game 2. Because, to come back from 20 points, folks, it's not a one-team thing. The Knicks have to make plays, yes, but the Celtics have to help them out too. And they missed 13 straight shots. You think that's going to happen again? That's not a recipe for success. Bridges can't have 0 points going into the fourth quarter. It's not going to work. He's got to be the third scorer. Now, he's been great on defense in this series, and he's made big plays in the fourth quarter. But there's still 2 games to get. This series is far from over. And if you're Boston, you go in there and say, let's just get game 3. Once we get game 3, we're right back on track. We get game 4, we take it back to Boston, and then all of a sudden, we're the favorites again. So this series is far and a long way from over. And that's why I said when I started this, when I got on live at the beginning of this show, whatever the hell you want to call it, I said the Knicks need to treat game 3 and really game 4 too, but game 3 especially, like they're down 2-0 in the series. Have that sense of urgency. Because the truth is, we know they need to win one of these 2 games if they want a realistic chance to pull this thing off. Because that's what you're looking at. The Celtics are the far superior team. And right now, they're shaken. Their confidence is wavering. You got a chance. You got a wounded animal right now. You got a chance to stick the dagger in him. You got to go out there and put it in him. Put the dagger and twist. You're going to the Garden. You're going home. You haven't played well yet there in this postseason. You owe the fans that. You owe the fans an epic game at the Garden. You owe them one of those epic Knick Garden performances that we saw so many times in the playoffs last year. You owe the fans that. Haven't had one yet this postseason. So, the Knicks got to treat this game like they're down 2-0 and go out there and play a good 48 minutes of basketball. And put the dagger in the champs. Because they are wounded. They are shaken. Their confidence is wavering. Like, don't give them life. Don't let them remember what it feels like to hit a bunch of threes, to be up and keep a lead, to go out there and embarrass you. Don't let them remember what that feels like. They did that to you in the regular season all year. Don't let them get that feeling back. Show them this is a different team. This team is tougher than it was during the regular season. It knows what it takes to win. It has guys that when the game's on the line, when the going gets tough, when things aren't good, they're willing to get in there and fight and scrap. Show them that. But you got to start this game from the jump. You are not getting behind 20 every game and doing this. We know that. I don't care that it's happened twice. We know how ridiculous that is. I still can't believe it even happened. So the Knicks have got to go in there and they've got to have that mindset of it's time for us to play our best game. And I mean more so on offense than defense. The defense has been totally fine. That's got to continue to be playing at that type of level. The offense has got to pick it up. If it doesn't pick it up and you play like, and they continue to play like they did in game 2, this series will be 2-2 going right back to Boston. And everything they did in Boston will be for nothing. So, game 3, Saturday afternoon, that's tomorrow. Saturday afternoon, 3:30 Eastern at Madison Square Garden. The world's most famous arena. Yours truly will be in the building. We will be in the building. The crowd should be on fire. I'm upset that it's a day game. I wish it was a night game. More adults, more alcohol, more craziness. We know. That's what I wanted. But on a Saturday, it should be, people go out and no one works on Sunday. So people have that vibe on Saturday afternoon, late afternoon game. People will be ready to go. But ticket prices are crazy, as we know. Get a GoFundMe page if you want to go to this game. That's all I got to say. Because this shit is wild. Man. And it sucks for all the real fans who get priced out of the arena. That's for another day, but I hate that. I hate it. But the Garden should be rocking. And the Knicks need to go out there and give the fans one of those Garden nights in May that they've been longing for, that they haven't seen yet this year. And the Celtics have to be thinking, hey, let's just go get one. Let's go get the first one. We get the first one, we're good. That's what they're thinking. Knicks have got to put the dagger in them. Put the dagger in them. That's it for the Shot Clock. We'll be live after the Knicks game tomorrow at some point here on YouTube. Do a post-game recap. We'll talk about the other NBA playoff games as well. You obviously got 1-1 in Minnesota and Golden State. I don't think Golden State's long for that series. I'm not going to lie. If Steph doesn't come back till game 6 or 7, that series could be over by the time he gets back. I don't see how Golden State's going to score enough against Minnesota. I just don't. Without Steph, they're not a deep team anyway, Golden State. You lose your best player who your entire game plan is basically predicated around. It's going to be too much to ask. I expect Minnesota to go. I think they might get both in Golden State. They'll at least get one. At worst, they'll be up 3-2 going back to Golden State in Game 6, and you got to hope Steph comes back for Game 6 and not Game 7, or they'll be going home. That's just a fact. It's unfortunate. It sucks. The injuries suck. Just like Cleveland, same thing. Cleveland, if they don't get these guys back, if they don't get these 3 guys back, they're going home early. They're going home in 4 or 5 games. That's all there is to it. You can't play without half your roster, without your second, third, and whatever, your 3 or 5 best players. Can't do it. I don't know the statuses for that game tonight. I haven't seen anything on Garland or Mobley or Hunter. Hopefully they're out there, but if they're not out there, they're going home. And OKC Denver, it's going to be an interesting series, that series. Going to be an interesting series. We'll do more on that in the next couple days when we see where it goes, but I picked OKC in 6. I'm standing by that. I think that'll happen. I think that series for Denver, OKC's clearly the better team. They showed in Game 2 that they're ready for this. That was a fluke Game 1. Denver needs to get one of these 2 at home and go 2-2 back to OKC and just push this thing, extend the series as long as possible. And then hopefully, 1-game scenario, you got Jokic and you'll take your chances. That's, to me, the plan for Denver. It's going to be a long, tough series, though. I appreciate you, chat. I appreciate you guys here on YouTube. I'm going live on TikTok for a little bit in a few minutes just to talk some NBA hoops, talk some playoffs. So turn over there. If you want to go over there, I'll be there. I'm going to try to do some play-by-play on TikTok tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get to. I'll be out in Connecticut with my girl and her mom. It's her birthday. I got to do that. It's part of the deal. I don't want to do it really, but it's part of the deal. I got to do it. Got to do it. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be in the Garden for Knicks Celtics, and I'll do a post-game recap after that. Tune over to TikTok. I'll see you there on live. Appreciate you, chat. Shot Clock is out for now.